This week on PTL, we tower dive the big plays from the premier regions, base race both sides of the LCS, and buff up with some League of Learning. Set your smite on D. Primetime League starts right now.
Whoa! Flat shockwave destroys Endless. Rookie wants to make the highlight reels today.
Does he have the damage condemned against the wall? Yes, he does. Unstoppable.
Zion Spartan throws everybody and placks them up against the wall as a trophy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Primetime League. I am Rivington Bisson III here with David Freak Turley as my court-appointed co-host, fulfilling his community service hours.
That's right, buddy. Only 650 more to go, but even without legally required to be here, I would still cast with you.
Awesome.
Either way, we've got a lot of League of Legends to cover as we head around the world to check in on the premier regions. Let's get down to business.
Business, Freak.
Yeah.
This is kind of scary. All right, let's get to the highlights. That business takes us to week 1 of the LCS action in Europe, where the Unicorns of Love faced Fnatic in a rematch of the Spring Split Championship. And Fnatic, they're still coming out like number 1.
Yeah, it looks like the exact same Fnatic we always see. Hey, look, a bunch of people around Huni, tower diving people, bunch of kills early on. Whoa, what a shock, it's Fnatic.
A 3-for-0, just 7 minutes into the game, perfectly getting each other in and out on the aggro of the turret, and Reckless picks up a few already. New member, I wouldn't say new member, back on the team.
Returning member.
And doing just as good.
Yeah, what amazing tower juggling by them as well. How about an arrow across the map? Okay, whatever, we don't need hard engage, we'll just have Yellowstar do it instead. Better bottom lane member anyway.
Coming in as well. Huni's bar almost full enough. He's like, I can almost gnar. Oh, look, everybody's against the wall.
Oh, God, and the massive stuns. It was already 11-4 in kills. Now those numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger. 4 kills off that one. The flash from Power Reveal. Even Godma can't stop this one.
Reckless getting a double kill in the ending fight there, resulting in the Nexus. 7-0-3 at the end of the game as we move on to Origin versus H2K. And everybody's looking to stop these guys, too.
Yeah, what a great first test to Peke back in the LCS. How about just crushing Ryu real quick with a bit of help from Amazing? Grats there, and it looks like Amazing learned from his TSM days, camping the mid lane, getting his mid laner ahead. Good job.
Absolutely. See, so as in the top lane, Hjarnan getting a little too close.
Yeah.
Too close to the fire, you get burned.
Level 5 Saber, level 6 Rumble. That's a mismatch made in heaven. And now Lulax, all right, maybe trying to turn something around. Amazing caught in the middle of everyone. Eagleizer says hello.
So as getting a teleport to the bot lane, helping Niels pick up the double kill here. And once you get Vayne going, the other team, they get going home.
Yeah, Niels has done a great job so far in this game, 3-0. So as goes down, but it's okay to drop a couple of kills. Origin really coming out amazing in this one. Now up 5 kills. One more fight comes in. Odwamna, a big tank in front of the turret. He buys a lot of time for his team to come in here. But Niels. What a great condemn on a Lulax, and now it's just time for cleanup.
Kiting it back, getting that auto spacing in.
Auto spacing indeed. Everyone's learned it at this point. So as to continue the train, and yet again, poor Hjarnan just stuck on top of an equalizer, has to flash away this time, still dies. And in 27 minutes, Origin making a statement, knocking down the number 3 team from last split.
Doing pretty well. Peke's team was thought that they would kind of be a hype train, and it's still going right now.
Full steam ahead.
With 1 week complete, here's a look at the current European standings. Leading the pack are Fnatic and Origin, who, believe it or not, are also the only 2-0 teams in Europe. Funny how that works.
Done pretty well for them. Fnatic in first place, split across all the old members. After that, it's a lot of 1-1 teams for the rest of the table, with unfortunately Gambit and SK Gaming still looking for a win at the bottom.
And now to add some authentic European flavor to the show, let's welcome Trevor Quickshot Henry to PTL. How's it going, Quickshot?
Pretty good. Feeling delicious. Excited to be back on PTL and in the summer split.
It does feel good to be back casting. Before you dive into the LCS, we're hoping you can settle something for us. We need your guidance on a little pronunciation.
We'll see, indeed. I do have one final question. We need to get this out of the way. Origin. We all say it differently. Peke, tell us what to say.
Well, both ways are fine. Okay. Origen is how you say it in Spanish. So you actually say like if you were a Spanish person, but Origin is how you would say it if you were not a Spanish speaker.
You say it exactly the same twice now.
Origen? Origin.
Yeah. All right, so that's it then. And anyway.
All right, I'm not going to lie. To the untrained ears, those sound exactly the same, Trevor. Which one is it?
Yeah, I really don't know. This is something we've debated inside. Peke tried to teach me, and I messed it up so badly. I'm just going to stick with Origin, and hopefully everybody understands which team I'm talking about.
All right. Safe to say we can lock that down. We'll use it on PTL. We'll use it in CAS. Sounds great. Now, go ahead, take us through the European LCS, please.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about what to talk about on PTL, and something that we're very fond of here in Europe is our crowns and our kings on this side of the pond. And I wanted to take a look at whether or not the teams were going to be pretenders or contenders for the crown of the summer split. And I wrote down some notes, and I think I'm going to refer to it as my quick list, as it were. I'm going to start with the champions of the spring split, Fnatic, and ask just how much better they're going to get with Reckless. They brought in this new kid who's played for them before, and I don't know if it's how much better it's going to prove, because Fnatic won the spring split. They took SKT to 5 games at MSI, and there's just all of these question marks about how much better they can be. The one thing I do want to note from week 1, Huni played a fantastic Gnar, which is something he didn't do in the spring split. So there's already some growth from the other players, and I'm excited to watch how the rest of them pan out.
All right, so that's the low-hanging fruit. Those are the obvious ones. Let's take a look at the young guns that finished 2nd and 3rd in the spring. Unicorns of Love and H2K.
So for Unicorns of Love and H2K, I think both of these teams had a fantastic opening split to the year. They've come into summer with no roster changes, and I think they've both got some areas to improve on. Unicorns of Love need to stabilize a consistent gameplay style, and H2K need to challenge themselves to think outside the box and play a different style to better themselves. One thing that is good to see is that Ryu is playing more Assassins since playoffs, and he's doing fantastic on those Assassins. And when I look at the two teams side by side, I think H2K have a better shot at challenging for the summer split crown than Unicorns. I think Unicorns hitting this style is a little bit more risky. But one other team that I want to lump in with these two very quickly is Origin. Origin has come to the table with this wealth of experienced players, guys who've been on the stage, who've been at World Championship stages before, and they've got this new hungry kid, Niels. In all of the interviews with Origin, who went 2-0 in week 1, they said they're hungry, they're humble, they come across as quietly confident. And I think that's one of the outlying teams, in my opinion, is going to make up the top 4.
All right, Trevor, when we talked about your quick list earlier in the week, you lumped in Roccat, Gambit, Elements, and SK into the same pool. Are they pretenders or contenders in your mind?
I've got to cop out just a tiny bit because I don't know how to read these teams, right? Gambit and SK, they changed their AD carries, but that means their entire team's playstyle changes. Roccat have brought in a new top laner, which didn't really solve the big problem of the other 4 players underperforming during the spring split. And talking about 4 players, Elements changed 4 of their players. They only kept Froggen. So you've got this group of old dogs in, Froggen and Tabs and Amazing and Dexter rather, and wondering how much better can this team get? How many new tricks can these guys learn? Long story short, I don't have a fantastic read, but I think these are my teams that are 5th through 8th, and I'm leaning more towards pretender because I just don't really think they can fight against the likes of H2K, Fnatic, and Origin, who I feel will be at the top of the table.
All right, some pretty strong words for those guys, but you have left off Giants and the Wolves, despite both teams sitting at 1-1 after the first week.
Yeah, and I think praise goes to both Giants and Wolves for some convincing, strong victories in week 1. I just don't think they can consistently do that against the rest of the competition. The summer split has gotten stronger, has gotten tougher here in Europe, and these are two teams that need to really step up their game. We watched them throughout spring, and I didn't see the levels of growth that they will need to have if they want to pick up a summer split title and challenge for a world championship spot. So I think these guys are more on the pretenders side. But as I say, there's a lot of games they have to play, and maybe they can surprise us and their opponents.
It's a lot to process as always, Quick Shot. You always have a ton to go through. Quite a crowning achievement putting all that together.
Oh, no. I expected better from you, Riv. That's a freak line.
It is a freak line. It's because he sits next to me and he rubs off on me all day. It's inevitable. Thanks for joining us as always, man. We'll talk to you very, very soon.
Well, the pleasure is mine. As I go, keep an eye on his PTL FL4 league for me because I lost my first round and I'm going to need some help against Freak in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you will. You lost that first round to me. I drafted for Mark Merrill, so you're welcome. Talk to you later, man. Before we move on, we wanted to mention that earlier today, Riot Games released a statement regarding a European LCS disciplinary ruling. As a result of that ruling, both Martin Deficio Lunga and the Copenhagen Wolves' coach Carl Dentis Cray will be suspended from participating in the LCS until week 4. Visit LOLesports.com for more information about the ruling and the situation.
While Europe was finishing their first week of the summer split, the LPL was tearing through week 2. Up first was Spring Split champions Edward Gaming taking on their former mid laner Yu, along with the rest of Snake Esports at the fight for the top of the table. Game 1.
And they started out in the top lane here. The story is Camp Koro.
Flash, takedown, beast on a fitting champion for his name.
Is this
Goes
a
for round
replay
2.
freak? What's happening? He's coming from behind the turret again. Oh, there's number 2 on Koro very early on.
Target CC, good against a mobile champions. Weird how that works. How about some fire back? How about a long range binding on a beast and the follow-up?
Oh, and Azir gets plenty of auto attacks off in this one. There's a flash over from Deft. Sivir ultimate activated, and they're going to chase him down.
Wow, Jinx ulti barely doesn't kill off Clear Love, and Baimi on Azir just gets so much time for cleanup. Oh, Flandre dies to a boomerang. Koro just, despite getting ganked, can't be removed in fights anymore. How about a Baron attempt? Down 6,000 gold. Snake trying to make the play, but here comes Edward Gaming.
Koro leads the charge, Black Shield on, and he's gonna go ham. Everybody in the back line perfectly saved. Deft and Baimi both able to put out DPS the entire team fight and pick up the rest of the kills.
Yeah, 3 for Baimi in this fight, push the rest of the enemies around, and now onto the Nexus they go. Good job, Edward Gaming.
Oh yeah, Koro's able to survive the early pressure and make a good comeback. Game number 2 though, they're gonna go right at their old teammate Yu from very beginning here. 3-man dive.
Used to be teammates. How about the 3 of them all show up and kill off this Cassiopeia? This has been a repeated trend in this game, actually. Edward Gaming constantly piling down on the Cassiopeia with a whole lot of crowd control.
Look at this pawn. He constantly turns his back to Yu, waiting for the petrifying gaze.
Yeah.
His second time, he's able to dodge it, picks up the kill by himself.
Every time between auto attacks, and now this time, prove that he can still go for 1v1 kills. All right, he's got 6 kills, so he's a bit ahead, but knocks down Flandre. Okay, he gets help after all.
Yeah, Clear Love cuts off the exit path and allows Pawn to pick up another kill on the Fizz. You can say he's snowballed.
A little bit here. How about another petrifying gaze? How about another dive on the fountain? And nothing really grabbed here by you whatsoever. Another pickup for Pawn.
Yeah, a bit of a panic right there. Petrifying gaze, flash at the same time. Ah, I'm dead.
Yeah, 31 kills in 39 minutes. Absolutely crushing game. EDG 2-0 on this one. Bows from the whole lot. Let's move on to the next game. Invictus Gaming versus Vici Gaming. Invictus can go and hold on to first place as well if they can keep winning here.
And they do have a good chance. VG are running with a whole bunch of subs. Everybody jumbled positions around. They've got an 80 carry in the mid lane, and Varus goes down.
And Rookie just goes absolutely insane this game. Gets first blood. Great gank by his jungler. How about some more fights? How about they're going to go and get a 2-man shockwave, knock people around?
Oof, Dandy goes down. Hitong soon to follow. And that's going to be 2 more. Rookie set up to have a very, very strong game here.
Yeah, 3-1-0. Solo kill the enemy mid laner. The Varus goes down. Ghost Flash not getting him out of that one. And yeah, heart on the eye for Rookie. I mean, this is actually an amazing play. You guys might have seen this one on Reddit earlier. Flash Shockwave, dodges the enemy jungler, pushes the Heatong around. This guy's still gonna go though, because by the way, let's kill this. Yeah, let's kill Heatong. All right, let's go kill Varus too.
Varus wants a piece as well.
No thanks.
And good luck.
Unfortunately, Gragas steals the kill, makes it less flashy, but 19-5, 26-minute surrender, crushing game from Invictus.
Yeah, really good series from them, and here's game number 2. VG. Matas on the run very early on, but Kid's got Sivir ultimate, easy to chase him down. And you know what?
Dance party.
I've just given up on life.
You know, I think Shash has been in this situation before.
Oh.
I remember this one. And like scumbags.
Too soon.
Kid takes him down against the dance.
Mata wants revenge, but a little bit deep here.
Great hook by Mata, actually. The turret keeps him from being in melee range to root the guy, but either way, Kid survives that one. All right, Endless gonna go. Exhaust heal. Just kidding. More kills for Kid.
All right, so this time around, Rookie, take a break. Kid, I'm gonna carry this one. Let me do all the work.
Desperation Baron. They've got 2 smites. Dandy and Zitai up in the top lane. Double smites come in, but guess what? Kid's cleaning up everyone anyway.
Yep. Doesn't matter if you get Baron. Killed everybody with the buff, and they're gonna take the game after that as well.
All right, well, Double Smite not quite going to do it for them, but there we have 2 weeks of the LPL complete, so let's take a look at the standings. After 2 victories, and despite a surprising series loss to QG, Invictus are currently still in first place with 9 points.
Right behind them are Edward Gaming and QG. They're tied for second, with Snake, Master 3, OMG, and Royal rounding out the top half of the table.
And now it's time for our first BF game of the summer split, EDG versus Invictus Gaming. Will Invictus manage to stay in first, or will Edward Gaming take control this week? In the LPL Spring Split playoffs, EDG took down IG 3-0 in the semifinals before going on to win it all in the finals. And with first place on the line, you can bet both teams will likely come out swinging. That match will take place this Friday, June 5th at 5 p.m. local time in China, which is 11 a.m. Central European Summer Time and 2 a.m. Pacific. And to help shed some light on that match, let's bring in Julian Pastry Time Carr for a knowledge buff. How's it going, Pastry?
I'm great, Riv. How are you?
Not doing too bad as always. So we're putting all eyes on the EDG-IG matchup this week. What sort of insight can you add to the mix?
I mean, this matchup should be absolutely insane. So it's actually a semifinals rematch from the spring playoffs where EDG absolutely monstered all over IG to beat them 3-0. And IG, they'd had a good run, but they couldn't quite make it when they finally matched up against a team that eventually won, of course, the playoffs and then MSI. For me, if we sort of look at it as like a lane-by-lane breakdown, bottom lane, don't worry about it. Deft and Mako have almost anyone in the world as far as bottom lanes go, so let's leave them there for now. Kid and Kitties, they'll be fine. They're pretty consistent, but for me, it's all about the top side of the map. Mid lane should be crazy, whether it's Baimi or Pawn playing, either the sub, who's looked okay and still kind of spreading his wings, I feel like, in the LPL, or Pawn, who'll do just about anything. And then you look at Rookie, guys who are making plays pretty much all week long here to start his next season. And when Kakao comes in especially, they love to really put people in the ground and just take over a game themselves. Jungle matchup, I mentioned Kakao. Clearlove loves the pressure. Last time they played, he took over Kakao's jungle and never let Rookie and Kakao do what they wanted to do. And might surprise you, but the top lane's actually the craziest part of this game, especially if EDG use their sub. Koro, he can handle just about anything crazy that Zatai might want to throw at him. And this guy's played Rise into Na recently in the LPL and has a win on it. But Amazing Jay's another big carry top laner. Between the two, they actually contest for Fizz as a bruiser pick in the top side of the map. And at this point, if they play against each other, they might just try and add to each other the most craziest champion to get a win in the top lane. So it should be explosions everywhere. It's the top two teams currently sitting in the league, I believe. And EDG is always a treat to watch, and IG recently have been absolutely awesome.
All right, thank you, Pastry. Always great having you join us on PTL, and we will definitely see you soon. Now, lean back and enjoy the oral delights of last week's LCS. It's time for Mic Check.
All right, no one expects us to win today, but we can definitely win. So let's do this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Easy.
Hell,
What icon do you guys use?
Oh wait, why do you have EL Reckless?
Oh, what?
Look at this beautiful man, Reckless, to the left on the
Oh my God.
Holy shit. You know, imagine you like living such a beautiful life as his.
Martin is gonna be more famous.
No.
Who is Jelly? Yeah, actually I'm Jelly. You're so famous and handsome, yeah?
What do you guys want to do?
I want to kill people.
Me too.
Alright, that's what I like to hear. So let's kill people.
Okay.
So kill every lane again. Same plan.
Okay.
And this time we win.
Okay.
I'm winning the top
Just a
lane.
bit.
Kabi, nice!
Nice. Beat shield. Solo kills. That's what I'm talking about. Take it.
Puni is using rookie icon.
Noise, I'm gonna fit this man.
The rookie.
I'm gonna fit in every game, so I have to play with this icon.
Kill them, no? Slowly. Go Azir. Azir no flash. Kalista.
I'm stuck. Can kill everyone. It's fine. We win the fight.
Nice. Go mid. Nice. Go top.
Go.
Really good, guys. You guys are so good.
I'm coming too.
Nice.
Rumble.
Urban now.
Nice.
La mata Adri. Sí.
Nice. Buena, guys.
Just run. Leave it.
Get up. Damn. Can't save Dragon.
I'm coming.
No.
Nice.
Boomerang.
Nice. Boomerang.
Betsy. I'm a Betsy.
Nice.
Forgiven is extremely toxic and impossible to play with.
Dude, we are team Pokemon, but the poison Pokemons like coughing and stuff. Oh wait, Ekans.
Oh, you're right. He says.
Dedicated to Bard.
Good vocal warm-ups
It's
TSM
great.
have going. We do the same thing.
Absolutely. Good, clear comms, good communication. Here in the North American LCS, the split kicked off with a rematch of the spring playoff finals between Cloud9 and Team Solo Mid, and it did deliver.
Yeah, the vocal warm-ups, though, might not have helped them out. In the lane phase, they were fine. No communication needed. Bjergsen zoning Incarnation off. He did get some early ganks, but man, did he punish Incarnation in CS.
Yeah, this was the Bjergsen laning phase S, then you kind of don't win the game in the end. Coming out very strong, Team Solo Mid going for their own initiation, and then Cloud9 kind of turns things around a little bit.
Oh yeah, Balls had great Rumble ultimates all game long. Sneaky's able to clean up with the Sivir, holding up and just waiting until Incarnation was able to get some items.
A huge game of patience here played by Cloud9, absolutely a virtue, and they played it correctly. A few of the choke points that TSM could have walked in, and this is the one that Cloud9 wanted.
Oh yeah, right through the jungle corridor here, and they're gonna clean up TSM pretty quickly.
Dang. A lot of power coming from each member. You can see the fight split. Meteos going after one, the rest of the fight on the other side of the map being held off by the team. Balls keeping a perfect record on his Rumble as Cloud9 goes to a victory.
Yep, didn't want to let that one go, and Incarnation's happy to get the victory on his first game.
That's right. Our next highlight comes from Impulse versus Counter Logic Gaming. Impact on the screen, having a big one of those on Hecarim this game here, being focused out so he couldn't do too much damage.
Yeah, Zion Spartan was just all over the place, and he didn't want to give up on this fight either. You guys are taking a lane out, and I'm going to go ahead and jump in.
Great Nor ultimate into the wall. Double kill for him, and Adrian eventually going down, making it a 3-for-0. Very nicely played there, and more impact from the man himself.
Pobelter gets a lantern out, and do you want to mess with Shurima?
Do you have a moment to speak about, hey, you're dead, how's it going? Pobelter working well for Chronologic Gaming in the mid lane so far, and Impact trying a few more times as the team goes for broke here to Baron attempt.
Whew, can't finish off Smithy.
Where's everyone else?
Gets kited up, and they take down the horse.
It only took 39 minutes, 29-14. Quite a bloodbath coming out of that matchup. And with 10 games down, 170 to go. Here are the current NA standings. CLG and Team Liquid both had perfect 2-0 starts to their summer.
After that, there's a traffic jam of teams that went 1-1 with Team 8 and TDK, the two winless teams at the bottom.
Meanwhile, over in Korea, CJ Antis and KT Rolster met in hopes of securing a perfect week of their own, but only one team would walk away with a 0 in the loss column. And by the way that KT has been playing, looked like they could come out on top, but CJ had other things in mind. At the start of this one, we can see him trying to go for space. He was a pretty big focus throughout these games.
Yeah, he's almost got away, but Sunday's got his number, able to land the knock up there. And that is just the beginning for this Yasuo.
Just the beginning, indeed. Only a few plays from this first game is KT kind of took it to CJ Antis quick, fast, and hard. Again, right onto space, taking him down, just all smiles all day.
Was pretty much the Someday show here. He got to play that Yasuo into Gnar matchup that's been really, really favorable for Yasuo.
For Yasuo, indeed, not for the opponents. Nobody else likes it. Nobody, Kobe. 26-5. You can see it on the clock. Oh, indeed. An ace on CJ Antis in their own base. Nothing you could do for space.
Oh, my goodness. Someday is everywhere. All right, so that's the story of game 1. Let's move on to game 2 here.
Game 2, indeed, where CJ Antis would push back a little more, but it took some time here. Just 13 minutes in, already focusing Shy in the top lane, making sure Maokai can't be a consistent help tank for the late game.
Yeah, what do you know? Another great start for Someday? Not quite so much. Coco's here to clean it up. Ambition also coming in for the kick. And this is just the start. Ambition on Lee, really strong game.
I was talking to you earlier, Kobe. I said, is he doing well in the jungle? Well, you said he did well in this game, and that he did. 3-0-3 already, 26 minutes in. You can see they're starting to pressure the tier 2s, and this fight in the mid lane kind of explains it all.
Oh, yeah. Mad Life able to get the flash hook there to start it off, and here comes the root. Oh, Ambition once again kicks him back right into Space's waiting arms.
So much chaos in these fights, and so much chase down as well from CJ Antis. Coco getting the speed up, flashes forward for the gaze, and they keep taking down KT Rolster. CJ not looking like anything in the first game phased them very much.
Yeah, really strong play there. All right, so tied up 1-1. Let's go on to game 3.
Why not? Momentum usually carries over here, right? Well, that's what CJ is hoping. Arrow feels differently, though, in this engage. So back and forth. And then he says, hey, you better duck.
Double knockup, then spell shields to walk over the flame choppers and lands the bullseye with his boomerang blade.
That's one of those thank you very muches. Here, though, you can see it start to fall apart. Looks awesome for KT. Everybody's so low, but CJ's like, wait, we can fight this.
Just short of that wombo combo. One more spin from Hecarim there with the axe would have taken him out, but they were able to protect space.
Rinse and repeat. Let's try again. One more fight. Hecarim back in. It looks good. CJ's low. KT should have it, right? No.
Ooh. Shy here on the Shyvana. Basically running over everybody. Man,
basically.
And Coco's Azir able to keep everyone away with the wall. Beautiful stuff.
Dragon protecting his gold, protecting his Baron. CJ come up with the second win in the best of 3 series. Quite happy about that as we move on to SK T1 versus the KOO Tigers. Tigers not having the same result they did at the beginning of this spring split, that's for sure.
They have not looked good for a while. Starting out here, though, everybody jumping on to Bang. And there's a kill for him.
There is a kill indeed. The notable
Gorilla.
For Gorilla. The notable Aurelia pick in mid lane for Faker here as well that everybody was watching and pretty much destroyed the game.
And this fight right here was just so beautiful from SKT. They're waiting for Marin to come back up right now, kiting around the edges, keeping KOO inside the river here, and then Marin finally comes. There's the teleport, and Faker double.
Oh, the dream! Oh, it's such a dream. He was having so much fun on that Aurelia. Everybody wondered what would happen. Faker Playmaker came to be as well. Already onto the base here, 33 minutes in. Quite close on the kills. That's just because they were running away from Faker the whole time. Because the tower dives one after the other, and the kills, they were coming one way or the other for SKT here.
Whew, so many really high-impact Alistar combos we've been seeing lately.
So many to be played, and so many came to have a lot of kills for SKT in those matches. Going into game 2, SKT
everybody's level 2, Rip. What's going on here?
Everybody's level 2, and nobody focuses Faker here. He's like, who wants to walk me in the park? They're like, well, I'll walk you in the park. You're just standing inside us. This amazed me. This just amazed me.
Yeah, Bane got the red buff, pop the heal here, start chasing people down.
Tunnel vision is for real. The goggles, they do nothing.
Now he's got doubles. All right, that's a double buff level 2 Vayne. Pretty scary as well.
So you can pretty much guess how it went from there. Bang going quite hard, and even a little too hard, you'll see in this one.
Yeah, one shot on the turret there. Didn't really hurt him too much. You know, they've got Wolf coming in. He'll pick up another kill here. All right, we got it. And
he's alive.
Another
Wait a minute.
shot. Okay, well. Everybody has an off play once in a while.
Once in a while, indeed. He was just giving a little bit back. Felt like the advantage was too much because you can see here coming through, gets eyes onto Smeb as well with the team in front of him, able to help take down Smeb. Then they're over right onto Azir. It's not long for this world for KOO to stay in the game.
Yeah, they used everything to try and take down Faker's legendary AP Kog'Maw with Ludens, but they had nothing left.
Nothing left indeed. Faker with a Aurelia and a Cog and the rest of the team playing together. SKT is just the force you usually can't stop. So after 2 weeks of games and the 2 this morning, here are the Korean standings. With their victory over the Tigers, SKT has now moved into first, just ahead of CJ Entus.
And after topping Samsung this morning, Jin Air moves into 3rd place with KT Rolster and IM rounding out the top 5.
Hey guys, Jad here with another League of Learning. This time I'm going to give you a little insight into a support champion who is now making his way onto the competitive scene, and that's Bard. Last week we saw Luna win a game with him for Samsung in Korea, Albus picked up 2 victories for AHQ in the LMS, and Enrated picked him up in Europe even though he didn't win, but I'm going to say he went ahead and had a good game for himself. So first off, I want to talk about Bard's strengths and weaknesses. This is the strange thing about him, because everyone is expecting Bard to be this roaming god who excels in lane swaps, but if you think about the guys that are actually the best in roams, Alistar, Thresh, and Nautilus all out roam Bard. So why would Bard actually see competitive play? Well, his ultimate has amazing setups for AoE CC, he provides amazing team play opportunities, and it's one of the reasons he's taking time to be picked up because he's so hard to coordinate. And surprisingly, his level 1 damage when he has 1 Meep as well as an early Q, plus he's hitting level 2 first because of his experience gain, collecting chimes, he's strong in the early lane. But weaknesses, of course, he has 1 damage spell, so he has low sustained damage. He's incredibly hard to coordinate. You can ult your own team and screw everything up. And later on in the game, as people have higher move speeds, the ultimate becomes more and more unreliable. Going back into the game a little bit, just bad matchups. 80 carries that need to be focused down are tricky for Bard because obviously he doesn't have that much damage to begin with. So Kalista and Thresh, because of high mobility, it's hard for Bard to lock them down. Ashe and Janna, if you think about it, Janna shields his early burst and he has nothing left, and then he can't escape from the Ashe afterwards. But against melee supports, because of Bard's nice auto attack, sustain, and upfront damage, he can do really good work against supports like Nautilus and Alistar. One big mystery about Bard, though, in the competitive scene, as well as just people playing him all over the place, is how really do chimes and meeps work? It's a very complicated system. The only things you really need to keep in mind is every 5 chimes, you get an upgrade. Also, you can let them linger for a little while on the map. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They last for 10 minutes. When you get 5, you get a slow on a meep. When you get 15, you get to charge 2 meeps, and when you get 55, you get to charge 3 meeps. And those things start doing a lot of damage later in the game. So keep that in mind. Save up your meeps in team fights. Make sure you're always collecting at least 5 when you leave your laner, and let them sit for a little while. They're not going anywhere. Other than that, Bard synergies. This is one of the cool things we get to see. In Korea, we saw a great Bard plus Twisted Fate combo. Bard will synergize with long-range global type engages because you can lock someone down, let TF come in afterwards, easy kills all game long. Also, if you want a team fight in the jungle with Bard, that is exceptional. Magical Journey in any which direction you want, and it's almost always going to be effective. Surprisingly, as we mentioned earlier, he has good team fight synergy. If you think about Magical Journey, the Bard ultimate, he extends team fights. So people with sustained damage or hard AoE follow-up are very good with Bard. And the one Bard thing we haven't necessarily seen yet is Bard with Assassins. Now imagine 2 Assassins jump into the backline of a team, use all their cooldowns, normally they're vulnerable. Bard ult right on top of them, and they get another round of cooldowns back. I think we're going to see that eventually in the competitive scene. But that's going to do it here for League of Learning with Bard. Remember, good team fighter, strong laner. He does roam well, but some guys roam better. Have a good time on the Rift.
Hey everyone, I'm here to chime in and take care of your tweets. So let's see how you did last week when he asked you which rookie player or player on a new team will have the highest KDA in week 1. The answer was Fnatic's Reckless. This Hawk shot his way to 14, 1, and 15 on the week. Let's see how many of you got it right. Well, a whopping 49 of you. Call me enchanted. Good job. And for a Frost shot at the Hall of Fame, you had to tell us what his exact KDA would be. For you math wizards out there, it was in fact 29. I know addition is hard, as is dividing by 1. And one incredibly accurate person got it right. Congratulations to @JerryVasted, who nailed it right on the money. Nice work. Now, of course, that means you'll be joining the other League elites in the Primetime League Hall of Fame as our newest member. Now, if you didn't get it right, don't fret. Reload your quiver and take aim at this week's question. How many games will Bard be played across the 5 premier regions this week? And now, this week's set of games counts this morning for the LMS as well as the LCK, and it goes all the way through Monday. So that's your sort of time frame. To gain entrance into the much vaunted PTL Hall of Fame, you've got to tell us which pro will have the highest KDA on Bard for that week. Be sure to tweet your answers to @LOL Esports along with the hashtag PTL, and we'll see if you can answer the Traveler's Call.
And so while you send your tweets on a Magical Journey over to Freak, let's drop in on the LMS, where first place AHQ took on Assassin Sniper, who were really hoping to pick up a win over the #1 team in the LMS right now. But AHQ came out very strong as usual, only 4.5 minutes in, and the bottom lane duo able to get the kill onto Wei and start things off. But that was just the beginning. Westdoor was on fire the entire time and may have picked up the early kills, but it is the Westdoor show after this. Right onto Stone in this replay. Roar! Takes him down, doesn't let him get away, and they continue. This 3v5 in the bot lane just shows how strong HQ was throughout this entire game. Going absolutely crazy, getting hit by a full shockwave. AHQ doesn't even flinch, and they continue to control Assassin Sniper within the game and throughout the entire game. We jump from 22 minutes to 31 minutes, and AHQ has already made their way to the Nexus, taking it down for game 1 and giving Assassin Sniper something to think about going into game 2, hoping they could pick up a single win. But Westdoor carried the momentum from game 1 into game 2, starting off as Wei in the mid lane comes in for a play, and they're easily able to pick up a double kill here. You see BB in the mid lane, Assassin Sniper, his new team, not able to really put up any momentum in this game. Even trying a 3-man dive on Westdoor on the top lane, he's able to drop Stone, and then out from the side, here's Albus, takes the lantern in, Westdoor is out, and AHQ continue the momentum crush. Now into Zonda in the top lane. There's not much that Assassin Sniper can do, but just retreat from all of these fights, all of the abilities used in defense, and that's always going to make sure the game goes in your opponent's favor. and that's AHQ, the top team in the league right now. Once again on the Nexus, again within 30 minutes on that match. And the LMS is now just 2 weeks in and 2 matches into their summer split. So let's check out the standings. After sweeping their series against Logitech Snipers this morning, AHQ is undefeated in first place. And they currently own that spot with the Flash Wolves 2 wins behind them.
Now it's time for the real reason you guys watch PTL. It's Primetime League's Fantasy League of Legends Legendary League. Now I know we've got highlights from the pro teams from all around the world, but this is where the real competition is. You don't have to take my word for it. Just check out the results from last week's action. I have to say, everyone did an absolutely amazing job last week. We had some great matchups. What was even better was the sportsmanship from everyone. Now, I was only 6th in total points, but I was lucky enough to face a team who were 8th in total points. So I managed to squeak out a win against Imagine Dragons. So even though I won, the Dragons' Daniel Platzman was gracious enough to tweet, "Well played, freak. Well played." And of course, I couldn't help but pay it forward by returning the good man's compliment. "Well played, sirs. Better luck next week. I'm rooting for you versus Rick Fox." And speaking of the fine Mr. Fox, his opponent, the gentleman Gordon Hayward, had nothing but nice things to say about his loss. These two stalwarts both posted the highest scores in the PTL FL4 last week. Incredibly impressive drafting from both you guys. Well played indeed, everyone. I'm looking forward to even more rousing challenges in week 2. This week, I'll be facing the Lost Boys and Firebenders of Dante Basco, who narrowly bested Chandler Riggs last week. I look forward to our epic battle, and you fine fans can raise a banner to throw your support behind either one of us. Send a tweet to @LevelEsports along with the hashtag FreakWin if you think I can manage victory, or hashtag DanteWin if you think he has more metal. Gentlemen, good luck. Now, returning to the wider world of LCS Fantasy, let's hone your home game. First off, let's talk studs. And I'm not trying to brag that NA is greater than EU or anything, but God, humility's for suckers. NA is just better than EU. The top 3 performers were all from North American teams. I'm just saying. Up first, Doublelift, American Pride. He was huge. He pulled in more than 72 points in his team's 2 wins. #1 fantasy earner of the week. Next up is Quas from Team Liquid. Now, TL was the only other team to go 2-0 in North America. But it's really impressive seeing a top laner this high up, so props to Quas for a great 67-point week. And finally, the CLG new mid laner Pobelter came away with 64 points, 3rd overall in the LCS. Now, I know. I warned you guys about drafting Pobelter. But to be fair, I said that he might get subbed out later, but he would be good early on, so it's not my fault if you picked him up and he did well. Then we have the duds. Now, these are players that we expected to perform, but didn't, unfortunately. Let's start. Of course, EU, right? It's Svenskeren, the SK jungler. You know, he helped the team go to Worlds last year. He brought the team first place in the spring split over in spring, but he got 7 points a game when they lost both those matches. Next up, Lemonation. I know, a lot of tough competition. NA, it's obvious the North American player might go low with all the good teams here. A lot of people love Cloud9, and even though these guys beat TSM last week, these guys don't really play high kill games. Most C9 players actually aren't great fantasy point pickups, and until they figure out how to play better with Incarnation, I think C9 might be sitting on the bench a little bit more, probably find a higher earning support somewhere else in the league. And we have Gambit. Unfortunately, Gambit Gaming, all of them. We thought Forgiven would make the team excellent, but even Forgiven only got 13 points a game last week, and the rest of the lineup got less than 10. I mean, really just a very rough performance from all of Gambit. Right now, the LOLesports.com power rankings have them as the 10th place team in Europe. Right now, Forgiven sitting on my bench at PTL FL4. I think you might want to keep those guys off your roster for a little while. And while we're talking about Gambit, again, these guys should be on your alert list this week, as you might not want to play anyone from their roster. We've got one more alert, and it's TDK. They are playing with the same lineup as last week. While there's some good players, it's still a pretty freshman team. You can't really expect great things out of this roster overall from TDK. Let's move on from that to sleepers. These are guys who should be waking you up enough to grab them for your teams this split, or at least this week. JWoww, the Element's top laner, top 3 in top lane points per game. Really good, actually, despite the fact that his team only went 1-1. And this week they faced Giants and H2K, so probably another 1-1 week, maybe a 2-0, but JWoww's earning some points. You might want to grab him. Next up is Airwalks. I know we've talked about Copenhagen Wolves a lot so far, but I want to bring him up again. 51 points last week. 4th highest jungler across the entire LCS. He should have been starting in every single league last week. You might want to do it this time around. You can see these guys score points even in losses, so even though they play some tough competition this week, Copenhagen Wolves players, still a pretty worthy pickup in Fantasy LCS. And finally, big sleeper, Dignitas jungler Azingi. I know it's weird, right? But here's the thing. Even though he only scored 27 points last week, he has the easiest schedule in the LCS this time around. He's facing TDK with the same lineup, and Teammate, even with Nian, they're probably still a bit rusty. Zingy and the rest of Dignitas are likely to score very well with a likely 2-0 week for these guys. Hopefully that will help you guys tweak your own fantasy rosters as we head into week 2 of the LCS. Remember, you can still join in and create your own fantasy league by heading over to fantasy.lolesports.com for all the info.
That's fantastic. But let's turn from fantasy to reality as we check out the best pro plays from around the world, or as Freak's fantasy opponents can probably call it, the Penta. Coming in at number 5, Gravity's move struck TDK's Latman with a resonating blow.
Down, move is squishy, but they can't get the damage onto him just yet. In goes, picks up Latman. Wow! Move makes an LCS big play at the end of that one.
At number 4, Fnatic's fate was sealed after N-Rated landed a beautiful Bard ultimate.
And we see the Tempered Fate holding Reckless and Rainover in place. Fox throws down the Conquering Sands just a tiny bit early.
Let's look at that again.
The golden crown for the Kings of the Spring Split.
Love it. Absolutely loving it, Trev.
Don't blink, or you might miss QG's TNT flashing in at number 3.
Looking to start something on Cacao as well under here. Oh, beautiful flash. What the heck? Over the top of the headbutt.
Timed to perfection with the headbutt animation.
That looked like it was impossible to avoid.
Walloping in at number 2 was Hooney's game-winning 4-man Gnar ultimate.
Maokai's enough frontline. Now Featherman's joined the fight. Illisang, I think, flashed forward for that one. But the massive Gnar against the wall. Fnatic have just won the team fight. Thanks to Hooney. 4 members of Unicorns of Love are down. Hooney, once again, delivers for Fnatic.
And finally, Rookie was on the ball in our number 1 play of the week.
I think he's hiding a status. Whoa! Flat Shockwave destroys Endless. Rookie wants to make the highlight reels today.
Yeah, that was a good play. He's going to pick up the double.
Godv, you may not win the best Orianna award today because Rookie is impressing.
And while you're watching the pro teams play around the world this week, remember to tweet the biggest moments to us at LOL Esports along with the hashtag #ThePenta. And with that, we conclude yet another episode of Prime. Oh, we're not done yet. Oh, right. First, let's check out why things have been a little more colorful for your favorite pro players in our last hit.
Is your favorite pro player looking a little plain? Boring? Blah? Want to add more impact to your lane? Well, now you can! Thanks to Rito's new professional player Chroma Packs, your favorite pro's hair has never looked so good. From the minds that brought you hot pink GG, PPCPs are just what you need to personalize the follicles of the pros. No more drab team fights. Colorize the action with PPCP and put on your sunglasses. You're gonna need them. Order now. Operators are standing by.
Professional player Chroma Packs do not guarantee higher KDA victory, a trip to Worlds, or even reprieve from getting trolled on Primetime League. Rito Games is not responsible for your hair. Use at your own risk. Freak chin strap color is not currently available. GG.